Welcome, one and all, to another brand new episode of Undisputed Anime. I am your Taichou, your captain, Zane. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Mr. Susu Day.
Yo, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Hunt Day. How are you, Mr. Susu Day, by the way? You well?
Yeah, can't complain. The air is cool. There's good games out. There's good anime to watch. You know, it's a good time. It's a good time to have nothing to do.
Good. Again, thank you for joining us. I see we have a few people already in the chat. If you're watching this live on YouTube, by the way, feel free to jump in the chat. If not, jump in on the comment section. But we've got Anime Taichou. No, I'm Taichou. Genso, sorry. Saying that they're ready for this. It's a banger of an episode today. Thanks for watching. And we've got another guest in the chat there saying hello, bros. Hello to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Yes, we do have an episode lined up. We're going to tier some of the best shonen ever to appear in our lifetime, dare I say. Mr. Susude is buzzing with energy right now. He is trying to compose himself like a Shikamaru, like you could not imagine if you're listening to the recorded version of this on your favorite podcast platform. The hype is real. Okay, let's switch over to display mode. There we go. So, it's probably fair to start off by saying some of these we won't categorize or tier just because either A, we haven't seen them, or B, there may be variations of it already.
It's been a long time for some of them as well. So
yes. So for example,
fall out of favor.
Yeah, we've got two variations of Full Metal Alchemist on this list. It's probably fair to say that the default answer will be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but we'll get to that as we go through the list.
So where do we start?
Where do we start? I don't know if we should start from the top or the bottom.
Ooh, how are you feeling?
I'm going to start at the bottom just because some of the top ones are more recent, I feel.
That's absolutely fair. So,
starting off,
where are you? What are you starting with here? Because be interested to see what would be your bottom of the barrel.
It's not so much the bottom of my barrel; it's the way it's laid out. Okay, how about this? We start off time-wise. So if I say Dragon Ball Z, we start off with the Big Daddy. How's that sound?
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah. Okay. So Dragon Ball Z.
So are we doing Dragon Ball Z, or are we just doing the single, or are we going to put Dragon Ball and Super in there as well? I don't even know. Actually, no, Super is on the list.
Super is on the list.
Well, fantastic.
Let's start off with Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Where did I put you? Where do you think it should go?
See, a year or two ago, I would say S, and I can see a few people in the chat are saying S. I think with time, it may be an A.
I would agree with that. I think the Dragon Ball Z, and I've got my own list here, which I put together prior to the show, and I've stuck Dragon Ball Z at A.
Okay.
Because it's good, but I don't know if it's like, I think that there's a lot about it that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
And the nostalgia is what kind of like helps you look at past like things like episode like 2-minute fights that last like 30 episodes, you know.
I think what it is as well, Dragon Ball Z, beautifully animated, especially for its time as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Great story. It's a great introduction to anime and the shonen type. It's, the architect, it's, the measuring pole. Reflecting back now as an adult, things like, of course, the sagas are amazing. Cell Saga, Frieza Saga, Boo Saga. But again, as an adult, you think, oh, shouldn't Gohan have been the one who beat Boo, not
Yeah.
Goku? Do you know? It's just little things like that that kind of make me think, oh.
It always goes back to Goku, doesn't it? It's always... Come on.
It's the
characters.
Gohan Goku paradox,
I agree. A is a good place for it to be, because that's not an awful place to be.
No. Far from it.
Absolutely.
Should we move on to big three?
Yeah, let's go on. Which one are you grabbing?
Let's start off with Naruto.
Naruto.
And I'm going to choose the Naruto Shippuden picture because it encapsulates all of it, doesn't it? Really.
Absolutely so.
Feelings? Where would you sit Shippuden?
I put Shippuden at A.
At A?
I put it in A. I did have it in B for a time, but I think but there's an as it goes on, it just progressively the fights get bigger and better and better animated, and I think that's what made me like pull it up from B. Is like, if you've got the patience to kind of like just stick out a series which is hundreds of episodes long, and it keeps getting better and better, then it's good stuff. And it was a culmination of a story that we've been following for absolutely years.
Yes, 100%. I would agree with you on A as well. So the reason it sits in A for me is, like you said, it's the perfect combination from Naruto, the younger years, shall we say. Of course, we have the fantastic time skip, and then it's all about Akatsuki and the movement and everything else. Learning about Naruto's parents, finally finding out that Obito is Toby. We speculated that for years and things. So there is some absolute great moments. And for me, dare I say, this is like what Harry Potter is for a lot of people. Like, you grow up with a particular book or story.
I see that, yeah.
For me, Naruto is that. But the reason I don't put it into S, I feel like the final, again, similar to Dragon Ball Z, I feel like the last part of it kind of was its own worst enemy. I don't want to go too much into it, but the end of the final war, and then you've got Kaguya and everything else. Like, I know some people say that might have been Jump's push on it, not necessarily the mangaka, but either so, like it just doesn't feel the same, and it's sad. But either way, that's my gripe with it. That's the only reason it's not an S tier. It sits in A for me.
No, absolutely fair. I think I'd agree with you there.
Sweet.
On to the next.
On to the next one. One Piece or Bleach?
Either one.
You're just not first today, are you?
I woke up this morning and I chose chaos, so...
Let's talk about Bleach, because I know there's a lot of people revisiting Bleach for the first time, or again revisiting it altogether. For me, it's going to sit somewhere between S and A. I'll let you.
So for me, it sits between B and A.
Really?
My reason, let me give you my reason.
The floor is yours,
because I can smell the fires being lit. I can see the pitchforks. So Bleach was great. great fight scenes. Like, it was a great adaptation of the manga to the anime. The movies were great. In fact, love the movies like so much, most of them. The reason why there's a part of me that wants to put A and B is because they just stopped. Like, with the anime, they got to the end of the Fullbring arc, and then they stopped. And for years and years and years, that was it. And as someone who followed the manga, I know full well that the story continues well on past that.
That's very true.
And I think that the fact that, especially because the anime ended in the way that, in that really cheesy way of like Ichigo breaking the fourth wall and regarding the viewer, and then like walking away from the camera. Really, like that's it. It's such a it's when the smallest thing like kind of just skews your whole view of something. Because otherwise it's like, so I would say, I'd say put it in an A, because it is very good. I don't think it deserves to be a B. I'm just being spiteful.
Okay, no, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not gonna knock it. All I'll say is, for me, it would have been an S. And the reason why it's not an S, because I think Bleach had the most amazing sort of main character. I know people say, like, Bleach has a lot of plot armor, and maybe is a little bit guilty of that, but it's such a different MC compared to any other shonen. Like, he's not in it to be the best Shimigami there is. He's not in it for the fame or the recognition or anything else. He's just in it to protect his friends. Like, it's just a simple baseline. And I think it's fantastic. Also, yes, the action sequence are amazing. The drip is amazing.
Absolutely.
Is amazing.
Opening sequences.
But you're right. When it got to the end of the sort of Hooked Mundo arc, shall we say, once he defeats Aizen, it kind of feels lost after that, because, again, we followed it from its birth and all those years leading up to that final fight with Aizen, and then but then where does it go from here? The Fullbringing arc felt really kind of an uphill battle to read, and plus it's about memories and stuff, spoilers, but it's a real jarring read for an arc. And then you get the 1,000-Year Blood arc, which is just kind of like the real Bleach is back. But yeah, I'd say that dot just towards the end is what kind of sours it.
It brings it down, doesn't it? And you'd be surprised how much that happens. Like you said, with Naruto Shippuden as well. Like, that's what I was that dot at the very end that kind of brought it down. So, which is a shame, because it's great. Let's go on to One Piece, though.
One Piece. I guess you've got more to say about this, as I'm not nowhere near up to date on One Piece. So
I'm only up to date on the manga. So I would put One Piece somewhere between A and B.
Really?
Yeah. I think it suffers in the same way, because it's amazing. Like, I love watching it when I do watch it, but I think it suffers in the same sort of way that Dragon Ball Z does, in that a fight that lasts for a minute lasts for like 13 episodes. And when all you want to do is see the cool fight happen, but you've got like 90% of every single episode is just like talking backwards and forwards in that same space, kind of like that. That's what kind of falls short for me. Because in the manga, obviously, it's a long manga. It's got over 1,000 chapters.
Yes.
And it does the same thing, but I feel like just when you're reading it, I think that translates better. When you have a fight that drags out over multiple chapters, it doesn't feel quite as bad as like when you've got to invest like 20 to 30 minutes to find out the fight you've been waiting to see doesn't end, and you've got to keep doing that every single. It's a little bit it's exhausting,
Yeah.
And I understand why so many people don't watch like One Piece, especially now, because like if you were coming in, even though it's amazing, like people are gonna be like, oh well, it's got hundreds of episodes. I don't have the stamina to kind of see it through, especially when I know like some of the most satisfying bits are like very small bits that are kind of tucked away in amongst like 50 other episodes.
No, that's fair. I mean, from the experience I've had with One Piece, dare I say, I love the world building. Obviously, the characters you can't help but fall in love with. So it's easily, and of course, the animation. You know, again, it's an anime that's been running for years, and the animation for it has just gotten better and better and better. But yeah, I don't like the power system in it.
Oh,
you,
you mean it's like it's constantly scaling? Like there's never a true pinnacle power, is there? In One Piece, like there is always, and I mean that's a very shonen thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, but like I do see what you mean. Is like with One Piece, the like power scaling is just like you get to the end of an arc, and that is the absolute most powerful foe they've ever fought. But there's always, you know, like if they're this strong now, and they're taking down these people who are stronger than them, like what's it going to be like at the end? Like what is the force they'll be fighting when they find One Piece?
Exactly that. But I am looking forward to the 1000 special episode. I know the trailer dropped earlier this week, which looks really cool. So it's like a mini movie, but yeah, I'm interested
on
in
it.
Where do you want to go next?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna choose one out of there. Grab a Full Metal Alchemist. Show me where you'd put it.
You want me to show you where I would put it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I put it there.
My friend, that's exactly what I did.
No way, really?
This is assuming that we're talking about Brotherhood here.
Yeah.
And so Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
For those listening, I've just put Full Metal Alchemist into the S tier. I'm waiting for the chat to explode on this one, but go ahead. I feel like you're going to say more.
No, I don't have anything to say. I think that's the right place to put it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, like the original Full Metal Alchemist, it was okay, but
yeah,
it was another case of an anime where they had tried to get as much out of it while it was still in progress, and as a result, they ended up making an anime series that didn't follow along with the canon of the manga. So when they went around and did it, the animation was better, the fight scenes were better, the music, just every single episode was just so much better, and just generally the story of Full Metal Alchemist is just so well written. It's a well paced story with like ups and downs. It just kind of it deserves a place at first, like in the S slot.
Absolutely, and just to expand on that, the story is, like you said, the world building is incredible, the power system's incredible. Very simple to follow. Again, not only the story, but the power system. It's not like it just breaks a wall and just, again, becomes plot armor. Everything is centered around the actual power system altogether. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Amazing characters. Like, of course, you've got Elle and Alphonse, but when you think of Roy Mustang's group of soldiers, Hawkeye, Fury, just to name a few, absolutely amazing. And like you said, it's just all well thought out and planned, and probably one of the easiest animes to get into. Again, if no one's ever experienced anime before or wasn't sure where to start, this is so easy. Even the dub version, again, is incredible. It's so easy to pick up and get involved. And the best part is it has like a finish as well. Like, it's not massively drawn out or anything with fillers or anything to that extent. Everything's well paced and it has an ending and it's beautiful.
It knew when to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's next on the agenda?
let's go for something new. Actually, you know what? I'm going to listen to the chat. I see one has mentioned Death Note. Let's talk about Death Note.
Absolutely, grab it.
Again, I think this is how far up the list?
Well, I put it in. I put it in at A.
Did you?
I there was a part of me that wanted to put it at S. I put it in at A, and I think that's because it's going to be the same for a lot of things. I mean, as someone who's like read it before I watched it, it's kind of like there's a lot that is. I wouldn't say that there's a lot missed, but there's moments that you get when you're reading it that kind of are lost when you're like kind of watching it. I think like especially towards the very end of it, it kind of feels like everything is very rushed at the very end.
I see. Yeah.
Of Death Note, not in like a bad way. It just feels like it could have done with just a few more episodes, maybe. I mean, what do you think?
So, I think just because of the intensity, the mind games of it, I would put it in S. And the other reason I would say it's an S as well is that, again, if this was someone's first anime, they might find it very difficult to top it in terms of anything else. Now, that's not taking into account, of course, their taste and whatever interests they may have. But again, it's kind of like if you introduce this to a family member or anyone else and they were like, cool, I want to watch more anime, where do I go from here? I really like Death Note. It's kind of like, okay, cool, maybe Attack on Titan or maybe, but you kind of hit that road because you're like, this is top notch.
I think that Death Note has aged very well as well. It still feels very like if you watch it, you'll find ways to link it to the current age.
Yeah, and even the one shot.
Oh, if they animate that one shot, I really love the one shot.
Even though it's like what 10 years later.
Yeah, it's like set 10 years later, and it's just like phenomenal carry on. I wish it could have been longer than just a one shot. I would have really loved that. I can't express how much I enjoyed reading that one shot.
Yeah, that one shot was something special. So yeah, happy for me to leave it into S.
Oh yeah, no, please do.
Yeah, okay.
It's all about teamwork.
Yeah, exactly. Where else do we go from here?
Since you mentioned it, grab Attack on Titan.
Okay, yeah.
Where do you think it should go?
I might be decisive, and I would have probably pop it in B.
I'm very surprised by that because that's exactly where I put it.
Would you really?
Absolutely. And you know, I've expressed my feelings on the show before about Attack on Titan. It's well drawn. It's a great translation from the page to the screen. Like they've really done it justice in that respect. Maybe not so much in like the most recent seasons, as I hear that there have been some discrepancies in the art style. But when I first started reading and watching it, I really enjoyed it. When it got to when you find out about the world beyond the islands, you find out when you find out that basically this whole because I had been harboring this illusion that this was all going to be like this like kind of big mystic or scientific thing that was like why was this city like the last city and stuff like that, and then it turned out actually no, it's a race war. There's a race war going on.
Yeah.
And these people here are in the they're just like Yeah, and once the story got so convoluted, it just got so convoluted towards the end. And people who have never read the manga are going to get to see exactly the full extent of how convoluted it gets when the final bits of the anime come out and stuff. And that's not to discourage anyone from watching it, because I imagine it's going to be a spectacle. But once the story got so complex that even I was like sitting there like, I don't know how we got here. I think that really brings it down for me.
Yeah. The reason why I put it in B is because, and not an A or an S, Attack on Titan delivers some fantastic moments, some absolute jaw-dropping moments from the get-go. The monsters are amazing. Like, at the time when this came out, we were indulged with nothing but zombie merch everywhere. You had The Walking Dead, you had everything, everywhere you looked it was zombie inspired, where this was almost like a completely different monster to be scared of, which set it apart, and I really like that. So yeah. I really liked Attack on Titan, but like you said, I think, and I was really invested in where the story was going with the characters and with seeing if spoilers, betrayals, and things of that nature. But like you said, it just got really convoluted. And another thing I found really jarring from the anime point of view was the memories, like the way they were placed in episodes. It was a bit weird in terms of the storytelling and experience. Like when you see flashbacks of Aaron's dad giving the injection, like I wasn't quite sure when this was happening, because last time I saw he was in the training camps and stuff. But yeah, some of it is really jarring. But again, for me, this was like Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones has some amazing moments, but as a complete package, it's just not quite
the
cake.
Which is a shame, because you can see what it could have been.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think which we should go for next.
Crab Fairy Tale.
Oh. I did see it. There it is.
For me, you're going to have to stick that down at D.
No. Why?
I did not care for the fairy tale anime. I don't know, man.
What do you think it is about? Because I know you're not alone on this opinion. So what do you think it is about it?
I don't know. I loved the manga.
Yeah.
I really love the manga, and maybe it's just because the manga is so well done in terms of, and obviously, like Fairy Tale is just a reskin of Rave Master, and like Eden's Zero is just a reskin of Fairy Tale but in space. But like the magic system, like all this different magic, it was like really clever, like all really creative, like magics that you'd never ever think about. But when it first came to the screen, like I hated the way that every time, like especially like people like Natsu, who's like fighting like physically, even though he's like using magic, is like every time they use a spell, like that really gaudy like magic circle would come up, and like like I don't think that the anime was handled well.
Okay.
I think with another studio, it could have been amazing. I just think that I felt let down by Fairy Tale anime.
Interesting. What about the movies? Because there's been like a handful of the movies.
So we saw Dragon Cry, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
On the big screen. Did we see anything of the others? Or was it Dragon Cry where we went and we missed like the first 5 minutes because there were no adverts?
I know it's definitely Dragon Cry. I can't remember if we've seen any others.
I don't think we did.
No.
I enjoyed watching Dragon Cry, but I think that's because I was just in the cinema watching an anime movie, and that doesn't happen all the time over here in the UK.
Exactly.
And I was like watching an anime movie with my two mates who also love anime, and it was kind of just a really cool moment for us to be able to enjoy manga on anime on that scale in a place where we don't usually get that sort of thing. So.
Just before I jump into my thoughts on Fairy Tail, Ice Wolf has joined us and says, "Evening, chaps. How's the squad tonight?" We're doing well, Ice Wolf. Thanks for joining us. We're ranking the best shonen animes. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. I would, I would put this at a C, and
okay.
The reason being is I know it's a bit trashy, and I know it's not well animated and stuff, and I know some people say it's kind of like a knockoff One Piece because it's very friends centric, and I don't mind that. If anything, I probably love that about it. It's a guilty pleasure for me. Everything I've watched about Fairy Tail, except for probably the first 12 episodes, because like you said, the CG for the spell casting is so jarring. But once you get past it, and the odd thing is, I've seen so many other things use that now. I love it. I love it for all its flaws. I love it for forgetting other characters. I love it for it's just absolute trash, and I love it for the fan service. I love it when they bait certain characters shipping each other in weird ways. Obviously, like Julia loving
Gray.
I just love it for what it is. I love, and like you said, I love the power systems. I love the dragons in it, and dragon slayers, the god slayers, the demon slayers.
So that's like the best thing about Fairy Tail is like that tier of magic is like the dragon slayers, the god slayers. Like that's good. I'm thinking about it now. I might actually go back and restart it. I need something to read at the moment. So
the time skip, like it does every type of like trope. They have a time skip. They were somehow magically saved by the ghost of the very first founder of Fairy Tail, and it doesn't get any cheesier than that. But at the same time, I love it.
Though it should. But everything you just said sounds amazing, and it was amazing when I read it. It just like I think when like something good gets in the hands of just the wrong person, and as a result of that, it kind of brings it down.
Yeah,
like I think if a different studio have gotten hold of it, or if they just whatever studio did have it was given more time and they didn't have to kind of churn it out so quickly, then maybe we would have had like it would have been like a B grade or an A grade.
Yeah.
But I think I think it was undercooked.
I mean, just going off what you were saying there, I was going to use a metaphor by saying like this could have been a gourmet burger, but it turned into a Big Mac. Like
Big Mac, yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick it with D. I know I'm a freak, and so there we go.
I didn't know that this was a podcast about fetishes.
Oh boy. I don't know where to go from there now.
Okay, I'll choose another one now. Let's choose 7 Deadly Sins.
Okay, talking of fetishes. Where would you place this?
I would like to know where you'd place it before I say anything about it.
Are we going based off everything?
I'd just like to know your honest opinion of where you think 7 Deadly Sins should be placed on this scale.
I'm going to pop it in D.
And that's where it should be. I don't have anything to say.
And and again, I know this is for some people their gateway to anime because, of course, it's so widely available.
It's very
because of Netflix.
accessible, yeah.
But the thing is, it was so well animated. The first season or two, dare I say. Again, not probably the most complex story and a lot of plot armor. But at the same time, like, I just didn't know where it was going sometimes. I honestly felt lost. And I think I even messaged you a lot of the time, like, when does it end? Because I'm not sure what's left for them to do.
Yeah. It was very much like they tried to squeeze every single drop they could out of that property. And again, it's not a bad story. I just think it was managed poorly when it was made into an anime, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But there are more positive things in the world. We don't need to dwell on bad things, do we?
Exactly. And I might throw a spanner in the works and go the other end of the scale and pick out JoJo.
And I know where that's going. I was just about to point, like my finger would show up on the screen. There we go.
There it is. How far up the scale?
I put it S. I put it S.
Same.
It's so meta. It's such a meta anime. It's just like it's well drawn. It's unique in its style. Like its character, like the tropes. It's so tropey. There's so many like big like shonen tropes in there. But I had so much fun watching it from the first chapter to the last chapter, and I'm eagerly awaiting Stone Ocean. So
yeah.
So I mean, I couldn't say anything more about it. Like it deserves to be S rank for me.
Yeah, and some of the other stuff we've mentioned have been great, and then maybe fallen at the last hurdle. Where with JoJo, it starts very weak in comparison to some of the A and S tiers we've got on this list.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, becomes something incredible.
Yeah, it kind of needed that. Like that slow start was necessary to kind of set all of the main themes in place, I think. And I know that there are some people who are like start straight from like Starlight Crusaders.
Yeah.
But I feel like chapters 1 and chapters 2 were very deliberately done the way they were at the pace they were done in order to kind of pave the way for all his other like wacky ideas that he had.
Absolutely. Yeah, and at the same time, there's a reason why the content is so meme worthy. It's because it's so relatable on so many different levels, and it's, well, not so much that it's relatable, but it just ignites and is so interesting on so many levels. The music's interesting, the characters are interesting and well depth, and you go from a solo character to having a band of friends like in Golden Wind and such. It's just amazing.
It's great. It's a nice change of pace. A lot of shonen these days, and like it's just such a unique style that it's very, very visually appealing.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
So, well, my eyes do not get bored of watching it.
Should we go for something a little bit more newer?
Newer, yeah. Grab me some Jujutsu Kaisen. I know where I'd put it, but where would you put it?
Where would you put it? Out of interest.
I would quite happily put it at S. In fact, when I made my own scale, it was the first thing I put on there.
The S tier.
Jujutsu Kaisen is such a refreshing change of pace in this genre of like manga and anime. It's like it's dark, it's kind of, there's suspense, like the characters are really good. When it's been made into an anime, the anime has been just done the most superb justice. It is honestly a joy to watch. Like,
yeah,
and manga's still ongoing, anime's still ongoing. We're about to get a movie made adaptation of like the
Chapter 0.
Chapter 0, which was like the one shot that led to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Like, it's everything about Jujutsu Kaisen, be it like just the character development, the power system, like just how, I think we had a conversation about this a while back. It's like is like this dark trio.
Yes.
And stuff like that. It's like because that's the trend now. It's like the stories are getting much darker, and I think that Jujutsu Kaisen stands right up top.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's very fast paced. Like it doesn't do the sort of here's the hero, here's his everyday life, and then here's the change. It changes quite quickly. I
Very
found.
rapid.
Yeah, and it's almost like as the story goes on, you learn more about the characters and their challenges. And sometimes you don't realize it till you rewatch it. So, for example, I learned a lot more about Megumin's domain expansion and how that was such a difference compared to the second time I watched it, because he was sitting on it as his trump card, but he was always like, he would never use it. He probably would rather die
Then use
than
his trump
actually
card,
use his trump card, sort of thing.
And then he
So
uses it, and it's
and then he
magnificent.
uses it, and it's bloody brilliant. So I find like there's little progressive moments through it that it doesn't tell you straight away, and I quite like that. Also, it's probably fair to say that it is in so many ways spiritual successor from the big three. Like, I don't think you can have Jujutsu Kaisen without having Bleach and Naruto.
No, absolutely not.
You can tell there's such inspirations for Jujutsu Kaisen.
Absolutely. And obviously that's a comparison that so many people make between like Jujutsu Kaisen and Naruto, because you've got like the Team 7 like kind of like makeup, haven't you? You've got your Naruto, you got your Sasuke, you got your Sakura, you got your Kakashi.
Yeah, you've got a demon inside of the boy,
Yeah.
it's
good. It's all good stuff though. It's a formula that works.
Exactly. Why formula if it works? Talking of if it works, My Hero Academia. Where would you pop this on the list?
I put it at A.
Yeah?
Yeah, only A. I think that My Hero Academia is great. I really enjoy the manga. I really enjoy the anime. But I think that because it's like kind of it's shonen that's also kind of like very in places slice of life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like these big, like even though you have like these massive like arcs of like amazing fights and like character development, you also have like these like slower smaller arcs which are like kind of less fighting, and it's more about like the characters in their school lives.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think that that's just kind of where it sits at. It's just A. I think it's good. I just don't think it's S rank.
Yeah.
I think there are some fight scene, like some animation scenes in it that would probably be considered S rank, but I think overall A rank.
Yeah, I agree with you. I see in the chat here. One has said that JoJo is an A for him, which is
fair.
Fair, absolutely fair. Yeah, I just going back to what you were saying about My Hero Academia. Yeah, for me, it's probably the most shonen type on this list. In the sense of you've got your MC and then you've got the supporting cast, and they have like so many different personalities that you get drawn to, and even some incredible backstories as well. Like, is it Kishishima, the Red Riot character?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Characters like that, and fan favorites like Tsu and such. Amazing. Yeah, it's long, like a lot of other shonens, and maybe that's how shonen should be. I'm glad it's taking season breaks and such. And at the same time, there, like you say, you have the big fights and then you have the low key fights, like against the gentleman. I can't remember the second part of his name, gentleman something, which felt like a bit like a filler, but again, he had a great backstory.
Yeah,
He's like a YouTuber and stuff. Is it gentleman villain? Either way,
I can't remember his name.
either way, it's everything about it's fantastic. I just don't think it breaks the ceiling in terms of flawless storytelling or flawless, like, I don't know. There's a missing ingredient somewhere in there, and I can't place it. But either way, it's still a fantastic show, fantastic book. And again, I know for a lot of people, it's been a jumping on point because it's superheroes, and that's the hottest thing in IP right now.
Absolutely. So let's throw it back. Let's throw it back here.
Mm-hmm.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Why do you want Yu-Gi-Oh?
I just want to see where you'd place it. We're talking OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. We're not talking any of it. We're talking Yu-Gi. We're talking the Pharaoh.
I'd put it at D.
You'd put it at D. I would only put it at C. I'd put it at C.
I'm going to put it in C because to fill
There's
the gap.
nothing there.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what it is. I haven't watched an episode of it in absolutely years, but I always remember it so fondly whenever a meme comes up about it. Like it's one of those anime where it's like it's a ridiculous concept.
Mm.
Like, but they took it, they ran with it. It got massively popular. It's based off a card game. It's just like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got this really over dramatic voice acting, like in the dub, in the original. It's just like it's just fun, and you don't have to think about it too much. You know.
Mm. I've heard the manga is much better. Of course it is, but I've heard like it is much better than the anime, which makes me think I should probably give the manga a chance, because what I did like about Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the whole idea of the reincarnation and like
and the Millennium items and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Millennium items, of course, the Pharaoh living inside of Yugi and them consoling, like talking to one another about situations.
Yeah, two souls, one body, the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm and such. So I did like those elements, but the action drawn, one battle over 3 episodes is exhausting.
Yeah, I get that. That's why it doesn't go any higher than C. It's just like there are things on in our selections here. Like I'm just gonna like fire a few because they're like kind of in the same category. Things like Shaman King, as well. Like Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball. Like I'd be putting down at like where the hell is it? I know it's there.
I know it's there. Keep going. I'll find it.
But like things like Dragon Ball as well. It's like kind of they're fun.
Yeah.
They're not like they don't make you think too hard. It's just like they're fun like animes. Like obviously for a lot of people in the UK and in the US, like these 3 are like the main anime that were like kind of on when we were younger. They were the like only anime that were like shown on like TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously like you'd have also things like Card Captor Sakura and Sailor Moon and stuff like that. But like I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember Shaman King, and I remember Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. They were and I think that it's that nostalgia that makes me want to put them at C, because they're not groundbreaking, but they are fun.
Yeah. I'm going to start. We've got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to start throwing these around a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with Blue Exorcist.
C.
Manga
is unfinished.
Seraph's End.
C. Manga is unfinished.
Should we say the same for Hunter x Hunter then? Wherever that is, I saw that.
Yeah, it's about. There's like 2 on there for that because they had an original series, didn't they? So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't actually watched the anime of Hunter x Hunter, so
Me neither.
well,
Guilty.
yeah. D. Grey Man. B.
B.
Mm-hmm.
B. Oh my god. Meet me in the middle at A.
Okay.
Meet me in the middle.
Okay. Okay. I will move it to A for the sole reason. This is the only reason I'm allowing it to move up to A because Hollow exists. If we were just talking D. Grey Man based on the way that the original D. Grey Man anime ended on that cliffhanger, even though I know what happens after that point is amazing, then it will be at B. Because it wasn't bad. It's just that there's much better things that come after that point.
I've watched that series, the original series, probably about 3 or 4 times.
I love it. I love Alan. I love the whole world. I felt slighted at the end of it. And like I said, if D. Grey Man Hollow came out and it started touching on like all of the really cool stuff that happened after, because it basically, like, I mean, spoiler alert, but like the anime really concluded with this like moment, this like final moment where you find out that like Alan is like got like maybe the enemy. You find out all this information about him right at the very end.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go into that because it just ends with him on a boat going to the New Exorcist base.
Yeah.
Stuff
and
like that.
Levy goes off to watch like an army and stuff.
Yeah, because like, and this is obviously after the original base got attacked by the level 4. And that was all amazing, but then it just ended.
Plus those new uniforms.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'd say A. Okay, A is a good place for it to be. Give me another.
Okay. Classroom Assassination.
Classroom Assassination. I've got it down at A.
Fair.
Because the style wasn't quite as intricate as many are used to, but I think that the story of Assassination Classroom is really good, really nice concept. So
it is really cool. I like it.
We're doing Speedfire now.
Yeah.
Boruto. I actually have Boruto down at C.
Really?
Yeah, I think actually no, I'd say B.
I say B.
And I think that a lot of people would disagree with that. But I think that people who say it's not good are kind of being blinded by the amount of like filler it's got, whereas actually because it was front loaded with filler. That's the problem. But it's actually like if you've been reading the manga and you can see where the anime is at the moment, it's actually really good. It's just they had to front load it with filler because they didn't have enough manga yet.
It's very true.
What we got left on this list?
Mob
A.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm going to say B.
That's fair. What's your reasoning for the B?
Animation's incredible. Fight sequences are incredible. I just get a bit bored that there's no through story.
At the heart of it, it is a gag manga.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer.
I don't know if it's an S or an A.
I would put it at S.
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
Fight me.
I enjoyed the movie, and I very much enjoyed the first season. It didn't get me here's the thing, I didn't get into it the first watch. It was the second watch.
That's fair.
Because again, it's very slow opening, isn't it? Unlike Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's very fast into events.
But also, it's another very well-rounded title, which ended right when it was meant to in terms of the manga. Obviously, the manga's finished. It ended. It didn't try and extend itself beyond its natural death. It kind of ended right where it needs to do. Come on, there's a few more that I want to get on.
I was going to say One Punch Man. I saw that somewhere on here.
Yeah, One Punch Man is over a bit further to that way. Yep.
There we go.
One Punch Man, I put at A.
Yep, agreed.
Soul Eater, I put at D. And you know what I'm going to say?
Go on.
The manga was just so good that the anime really let me down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
It's not on here, but if Fire Force was on here, where would you place that?
I would put Fire Force at A or B.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that they gave Fire Force a much better treatment in anime in terms of they have kept the pace with the manga, whereas with Soul Eater they kind of did their own thing.
I would probably say, looking at the other things we've got on this list, I'd probably say Fire Force is a B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say about Black Clover? Because I know what you feel about Asta's voice.
Where is it on this list?
It is up one. Up
one.
on the top row, next to. Go back the other way.
Is it this one?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh right. See, I didn't even recognize it. I'll let you decide on this one.
I only put it at C.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But it's very shallow in terms of story. Like the manga, I always come off as kind of like this manga elitist. Like manga's just better.
Yeah.
I just think that it's better paced. I think that the anime is good. I enjoyed watching it, but I don't think it's like it's not like up there with like Jujutsu Kaisen or even Bleach or Naruto.
Yeah,
it's good though.
Yeah,
It is good as a successor to those titles. I just don't think I think it's the weakest of them.
Yeah,
anime definitely anyway.
Yeah, it's like you said. There's quite a lot there that is inspired by it, but not enough. Sort of, I don't know. Yeah, it's something along those lines. I know the chat's asking about Dragon Ball Super.
I would put Dragon Ball Super A.
Yeah, I'd say an A as well.
I think Dragon Ball Super was great. I think that the tournament of the world was great, and it had the final fight of it with Frieza, Goku, and 17 fighting Jiren was honestly like so good, especially when that music kicked up.
Yeah.
I might have to watch that episode after this.
Yeah, it took a while to get there, but it was well delivered and such. Again, the other characters don't get their due course. Like, I mean, Piccolo, for goodness sake. But either way, it delivers.
We did get Ultra Instinct, which was a treat.
We got it, yeah, and we got that weird surf Kamehameha off.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think the only other thing on here that I would want to put up there is one that I don't think you've watched or read, which is Dr. Stone.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I would put it at A because the story is great. It's very faithful to the manga. It's got great animation. It's just really well put together. It's a lot of thinking.
Okay.
Because the whole premise behind it is science and bringing science back to the world. So there's a lot of you're not going to get loads of like battles. It's all story. It's all talking. It's all like thoughts and learning. It's a wild concept. But I really enjoy Dr. Stone. I think it's really beautifully animated.
Fair enough. If you're going to throw if you're going to throw that into A, I'm going to throw Haiku into A as well.
No, that's absolutely fair. A fantastic animation, lovely slice of life. Haven't nowhere near anywhere through watching it, but it's mega popular for a reason.
And it's crazy to say, I don't think a game of volleyball. If you told me years ago that I'd love a game of volleyball, I'd say no, you're a liar, because
sports anime.
It's a sports anime, and it delivers how a sports anime should do.
Honestly,
in the most incredible way.
If you had told me that I would have been like waiting on the edge of my seat every single week for the new episode of Yuri on Ice to come out, then I would have told you you're crazy, man. But here we are. Here we are. Free. What the hell? Why do I care? I do, though.
I swear Free is probably the most underrated sports anime ever. Never gets talked about.
Yeah, it should be, because Free. And there's a movie coming out soon.
That's true. Yeah,
Woo!
Exactly.
Swimming.
Swimming. Just jumping into the chat quickly. Looks like there's an agreement. Tournament of Power. Broly movie, God, and the manga's great as well.
Yes, it is.
It's very true.
Can't wait for the manga to get caught up with. The anime to get caught up with the manga. Bring it back, because it's really good right now.
Did you see the trailer for the new movie coming, Dragon Ball Heroes?
No.
I'll send you a link.
You really should. I'm sure you did share it, and I probably haven't watched it.
It came out, like, I think at a Comic-Con, which is why I think it kind of went under the radar. But I did a reaction trailer to it, so I might post that at some point.
You should. I mean, maybe I'll give you a like if it's good.
Oh, thank you. If you've liked this video, then please hit that like button. If we've missed any animes, or if you want us to cover another tier list, let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you, all of those people who've been involved in the chat this week. It's been really cool to hear your thoughts as we've gone through this. And I guess we'll no doubt do another tier list very soon.
A broader one, I think. Not so much shonen. I think we'll just do a broad one of our fate. We'll do our own, and we'll screen share, and we'll talk through what we got going on there. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Make sure, again, to drop a sub. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, again, feel free to leave a comment, a star rating, anything to help us. We'll really appreciate it. And of course, in the links, you'll find all our social medias if you want to follow us and find out what else we're working on. Mainly me.
I wouldn't go there. I'm very boring.
By the way, I got a mini warning for you whilst I've got you. So apparently there's been leaks of the latest chapter of Boruto. Yeah.
That's not me reaching for my phone.
So for those who don't want to see those leaks, be careful on the socials. It came up on my TikTok at least twice. So be careful, because they're spoilers. They haven't been translated yet, but there's quite a lot of screen grabs of the next chapter of Boruto.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you what I saw off stream.
I've got a Reddit here. So.
Okay, cool. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
Drink lots of water, guys.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.